Greetings, brothers and sisters from around the world. Pull up a chair. It's time to get down to the business. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, Mr. Jason Black. Glad to be with you all here again this evening. And we are going to be discussing a number of things tonight. I got a couple of announcements to make as well, so be on the lookout for that. But first, let's go ahead and handle the business that you came here for. Asking a simple question, do men make better financial choices than women? Now, if you are subscribed to the channel, then you've been seeing some of the things I post on the community tab. You can't miss anything here. You can't miss the live program. You can't miss it recorded. You can't miss the community tab. You can't miss the patron. Because if you tuned in on the community tab here earlier this week, you saw that I posted some articles that were must reading. And probably the first one that I'm going to start off with here is actually going to be kind of in reverse order. I want to start off with about college. Now, this is the article. I didn't actually put the link to this article because I was going from Twitter, but this is the article that the links I did put up were referring to. There was a professor and had written this article talking about, hey, college is too damn expensive, man. College is too damn expensive. We got too much going on here. Higher education as a path out of poverty is now more myth than reality. Well, I'll be damned. You have your higher education professionals being honest. Just being honest and saying the damn truth is, hey, going to college, it's more myth than reality today. It is. So nobody's being honest with the young people in that regard because they're telling the young people, hey, if you listen to us, and they are young, they're naive, they don't know any better. They figure that all the adults in the room are going to be straight with them and going to be telling them the truth and giving them accurate information as evidence by the fact that they are older. And then they get out here in the real world, they go sign up for some classes in college and then realize that a university will give you a degree in anything from engineering to underwater bubblegum chewing to ballroom dancing. They will give you a degree in anything. That doesn't mean you're going to actually be able to make any money with it. So you would figure that everybody would go ahead and be honest at this point. There's no reason to lie to anybody else. Everybody would be honest at this point. You would think they'd be honest at this point, wouldn't you? They'd be honest at this point, right? Dead ass wrong. Letter to the editor regarding the article I just named here from Miss Marlene Bronson. The disinformation and misinformation continues. She said, I agree with Jody Adam Kirshner's assessment that higher education does not necessarily mean higher earnings. Yes, college costs too much. Yes, college loans are expensive. Yes, a college degree might not get you a better job. Correction, ma'am. A college degree might not get you any job at all. So the woman writing this letter here so far, she sounds like she got some sense till you get to the next sentence. However, she said all of that. Now she says, however, an education is about much more than money. Nigga, what? An education is about much more than money. The college experience can broaden your workflow and teach you to think and solve problems. Folks, these are old hoes running game. Do you hear this? She must work for the Perkins loan people. Did you hear that? College is about much more than, an education is about much more than money. Show of hands in the chat room. Give me a thumbs up if you went to college because you expected to make more money. Give me a thumbs down if you went to college and you did not expect to make more money. Give me a thumbs up if you went to college specifically to make more money. Give me a thumbs down if you went to college but you did not expect to make more money. You wanted to get life experience and broaden your workflow and learn how to think. And by the way, hit the likes button for me. Give me the thumbs up and hit the likes button for me if you're feeling this. Because nobody else is talking about this. You see, I set out to speak to the young, the young, the young. I talk to millennials, Gen Z, and younger. When y'all sit up here and ask, Jason, why are you talking to these 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds? Because these are the adults talking to them. Y'all want to know why they come up here saying crazy, screwed up things? Because these are the older folks, and you can see they are straight up lying to them. They've got these people are now telling them to go into college. You can go to college. It ain't about making more money. Really? Okay, but if college isn't about making more money, why are you charging me $75,000? If the money shouldn't matter to me, then why does the money matter so much to you? This is a female wrote this letter running game and deceit on other women because 2/3 of college debt today is held by whom? Women. And you've got other women who will gleefully look them square in the eye and lie to them. She knows she's lying, but she's saying it anyway. She goes on to say, I remember going to UCLA where English professors, not engineering, English, in a state that you ain't even got to be legal in, and folks are running around, half the population speaking Spanish. By the way, an English professor in a state where you don't even have to be legal and half the folks are speaking Spanish. But don't let facts jump in the damn way. I remember going to UCLA where English professors showed me how to understand and analyze a book, not just read it. Boy, them professors ran big game on her ass. They pimped the hell out of her. Analyze a book, not just read it. Don't y'all know they ran game on her? She walked out with her $50,000 in debt. Oh, thank you, sir. You taught me how to. Before you, I was just reading a book, but now I know how to analyze the book, not just read it. We call it comprehension. When you all were in grade school, remember that book from Macmillan Press or Harcourt Brace Jovanovich, depending on who published yours? There was McGraw-Hill or Macmillan Press. Remember, it said grammar and composition, but remember your early book said reading and comprehension. So she didn't understand that analyzing something and comprehending it are going to equate to the same thing. She didn't understand that. They ran game on her. See, if you turn the book upside down and read it like this right here, you see, you get a whole new understanding. All right, now drop on that 50 G's. Now listen to this next part right here, y'all. This is straight pimp talk. People, this is straight pimp talk. I learned the expansiveness of higher education way beyond high school. Each class and discussion added to my growth as a person. Notice what she said, my growth as a person. Didn't say my growth as an employee, my growth of income, my growth as a person. People, this is Derrick Jackson talk. And she's sitting right there going for it. This is Derrick Jackson talk. I learned the expansiveness of higher education. How many of you have worked in management at a company, but specifically in human resources? Did you ever hire somebody talking about their expansiveness? Where you use terms like expansiveness? Folks, this is pimp talk. You hear what she's saying? This is straight up pimp talk. She got game run on her, so she's come back out here to the general public, and she trying to run game out here. She got game run on her. Now she's out here running game on everybody else. She's just regurgitating the game that got run on her. Hey, look at here, chickie baby. We can work on your analysis. Don't just read. Now, you don't just want to read a book. You need to analyze it. And we'll work on your expansiveness. And this will all lead to your growth in income, growth as a person, baby. Don't worry about no money now. Money ain't everything, baby. Money ain't everything. Now, I need you to sign down here for this damn loan. But money ain't everything, baby. Excuse me, you signed on the wrong line. You sign down here. She goes on to say, I remember my children entering college as kids and coming out as adults. Excuse me? You didn't turn your children into adults? How can we minimize the value of a college education? Learning about life is more than just financial gain. I like the old saying, education for education's sake. Now, I want y'all to understand what is the most insulting part of this letter. The most insulting part of this letter are the last 4 words. Marlene Bronson, Los Angeles. Marlene Bronson, Los Angeles. That's the most insulting part about this right now. That is the most insulting part about it. Well, Jason, why is that the most insulting part about it? Let me explain to you from the lion-ass heifer who just sat up here telling all those damn lies. Let me show you why that's a damn lie. Here it is right here. This is why it's a lie. Take a look at Zillow. Not Lizzo, Zillow. You take a look at these damn prices. Los Angeles, California, this is the cheapest damn house in LA right now. A little cottage for $649,000. Oh, well, let me go ahead and tell you the criterion. If you want 4 bedrooms, 2 baths. 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, which is big enough for you to raise a family today. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, $649,000. And it only goes up from there. I mean, you can tell you in the hood just looking at these prices. You can tell you in the hood because the streets got numbers. And look at that. The windows got bars over them. These windows got bars over them. And it says multifamily homes, but this is a damn duplex. $649,000. 649,000 G's. This woman is running straight game. She running straight game telling you that money doesn't matter. She's trying to tell you that money don't matter. Well, Jason, you is being very subjective right here. That is the problem, Jason. You is being very subjective, sir. What do you mean by that? Well, you know, you don't have to get a house that big in the first place there. You don't have to do that. There are other options, Jason. You know what? You're damn sure right. There damn sure are other options. There damn sure are. Let me go ahead and show you some of your other options. Money don't matter. Los Angeles, California on Zillow. If you like to go out to Canoga Park, I ain't going to run down nobody's neighborhood. I'm just going to say in Los Angeles, if it ends with the word park, be careful. If it ends with the word park, be careful. Tragnew Park, I can go down the list. If it ends with the word park, be careful. $129,000 for 1,200 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. $134,000 for 1,100 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 2 baths in both of those in Canoga Park. They cut the price from $171,000. Oh, look, 1,100 square feet in Canoga Park. $136,000, Canoga Park. Do y'all see a pattern here? Do you all see a pattern? I'm seeing a pattern. It seems like only one part of town is selling anything, and these houses look frightfully familiar. Do y'all see this? The houses even look the damn same. Wait a minute. It is the same damn house. Do you see the damn, the damn, okay, it's the same area. 24303 Woolsey, Sin, whatever the hell that is, number 26, number 154. Are these like mobile homes? These are mobile homes. Hey, y'all, these are mobile homes. Jason, you couldn't tell we got a mobile home park in LA? I'm learning this. These are mobile homes. It took me a minute to figure out, hey, what about these addresses? These things, damn, all look the same. They look the same because they are the same. Y'all, they are having a clearance sale on the trailer parks in Los Angeles. They're having a clearance sale. You say Canoga Park is mostly Hispanic now. Okay, good luck to you. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, $139,000. Y'all, the trailer park is popping. The trailer park is popping. Canoga Park, the trailer park is popping. I wonder how old these mobile homes are. I wonder how old they are. Oh, look at this one right here. They didn't even show the address. They just said, hey, here's the bathroom. Of 164 days. Been on Zillow 164 days. This one's in foreclosure. So that means the BlackRock people got a hold of this one. 18 days on Zillow. Look at this one right here. 1 hour. This has been on Zillow for 1 hour. Ain't gonna last. This one, price cut from January 23rd. Price to move. January 23rd. So that means the same folk own these damn things. Remax. Yep, the Remax people got these. The Remax people got these up here at the top. Price to move. Price to move. And those are the cheap ones. These are the cheap trailers. It gets bigger and better from here. This damn thing here looks like it belongs to Barnum and Bailey and the Ringling Brothers. Been on Zillow for 6 days. They want 165,900 square feet. People, do you realize these other ones were bigger? At least this one here was 1,300 square feet. This was 1,100 square feet. These folk down here were like, yeah, I'll give you 980 for more money. For more money. More money. I bull jive you not. 1,080 square feet. This one's even smaller. More money. Been on Zillow 56 days. He ain't budging. He said 169. We ain't. Century 21. They said we ain't budging. Century 21 said we are not budging on this price. They said we listen to Jason Black. We agree. The price is the price. $179,000 for folks. These are mobile homes, and I'm from Louisiana. I am very used to that. I guarantee you, none of these are new. Selling for $179,000. None of them are new. So, folks, if you want a decently priced, quote unquote, home in Los Angeles today, welcome to the trailer park. Welcome. Carport. What's it? A garage? Nigga, how about the carport? We can do that. How about the carport? We can do that. We can do that. So if you want affordable living, $185,000 for a trailer. Y'all, $185,000 for a trailer. And this was the price cut. They dropped the price $15,000. That means before now, it was $200,000. They dropped the price $15,000. So that means before now, it was $200,000. This is the price cut. This is the price cut, while this lying ass heifer is sitting up here telling you that life is about more than money. Learning about life is more than just financial gain. Why, that college professor who was pimping me and slapping me on the ass, he taught me that it was about more than just that. You don't need to listen to that mean old Jason Black. He doesn't know anything. It's about more than that. Education for education's sake. Man, if you don't try to get the damn dogs off of you, Now, this was a letter to the editor now. This was not the writer. They were responding to another article, but this was a letter to the editor. Now, somebody else also, I'd be remiss if I didn't show you, somebody else also had a letter to the editor as well. It said, Kirshner, they're talking about the professor who wrote the original article that they're responding to. This was the original article. The original article was on point. They want to call up and they want to write letters and be disagreeable. He said, Kirshner fails to mention that New York University, where she is a research professor, routinely pushes students to spend more than $200,000 for degrees that provide few marketable skills. She also omits the fact that the cost of higher education has risen at more than 4 times the rate of inflation over the last several decades. Perhaps before looking to government to provide solutions to the fading promise of higher education, she and other academics should look in the mirror. That's actually not correct, though, sir. The schools are taking advantage of what's being offered out there. Once the government started paying for things, the schools started jacking up the rates. You want the schools to drop the rates? Tell them they're not going to be able to just sit up here and say, hey, get a Pell Grant or a Perkins loan for whatever in the hell we charge. Take that out from up under them and you'll see prices deflate. But what I'm telling you is that this woman here sitting up here telling you this Marlene Bronson, she got no shame. She's shameless. She is completely shameless. She knows what she's saying is garbage. She knows what she's saying is lying. She knows what the prices are in Los Angeles, but you see, she got took. So she's telling other females who are younger than her, the next generation, hey, I got took. You can get took too. Man, don't you understand? Women hate women. Don't you all understand? And I'm not sitting up here lying to you. Women hate women. They think nothing of undermining each other, telling a flat, bald-faced lie. She knows this is a lie, but she's saying it anyway. She knows it's a lie, but she's going to say this anyway, knowing it's not true. Knowing this is a lie. You live in Los Angeles, California. The price of living there is outrageous, but you saying it anyway. That was the nice part of it. Here was the other article, the New York Times, the gift that keeps on giving. The gift that keeps on giving. Did you see this sitting up here now? On one side, they're sitting up here deceiving you. On the other side, they're deceiving you again, trying to gas your head up. Trying to gas your damn head up. Single women own more homes than single men. A study found that 10.76 million U.S. homes were owned and occupied by single women, while 8.12 million were owned and occupied by single men. And that all sounds great right up until you take a look at who's carrying the most consumer debt. It all sounds great right up until you hear that. So it kind of makes you wonder, if men are doing better financially and we typically put off or postpone buying a home, while females are out here trying to deal with their childhood trauma and their disdain with their mothers by saying, okay, I never was comfortable at my mama's house. First order of business, I want to own a house because I'm trying to deal and reconcile my childhood traumas. And the real estate agent see your ass coming. And just like this other lying female in this other article, the female real estate agent see you coming and they're like, hey man, you meet. Let me go ahead and sock you with this damn loan. You're the meat. So these folks understand. Man. They know what the hell they're doing. Let's go ahead and kick the reel back to you again. Oh, no. Ain't gonna let it slide. Go back to Zillow. Oh, back in Los Angeles, California, you know what I did? I took away the manufactured homes. No more trailers because you chicks want to live in a real house. No problem. We can do that for you. We can do that for you. It says only 95 listings. This will be determined by pinfall. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,500 square feet in Granada Hills. You can't even see the damn house behind the tree. You can't even see it. $400,000. Here's another $400,000 house. You can put this in the back of my damn Tahoe. 1,700 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 2 baths. Take a look at the footprint of that thing. This is a shotgun house in Los Angeles on 79th Street. On East 79th Street. Take a look at that big, large lawn that you get. Do you see that big, spacious lawn you get? This looks like one of the houses from straight out of Compton. I ain't dissing nobody. I know what the hell I'm looking at. $400,000, 1,700 square feet. Brick shotgun. Oh, look at this one in Slimar, Unit 107. $400,000 for 1,000 square feet. 2 bedrooms, 3 baths, 1,000 square feet in Sylmar, California. $400,000 for 1,000 square feet. Amityville, House on the Hill, 1,100 square feet. That thing looks a whole lot bigger from the outside than it actually is. 1,100 square feet, $400,000. Los Angeles, California proper. 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,100 square feet, $400,000. Oh, look, townhouse for sale. They're so proud of their townhouse, they won't show the damn thing. 1,000 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, $455,000. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,300 square feet, townhouse, $470,000 in Panorama City. This one up here was in Van Nuys, Panorama City. This one, once again, Gates and Bars, Salaza. Okay, we know who the owners are. 1,000 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, $475,000 to be in the hoodie hood. Folks, to be in the hoodie hood. To be in East LA, $475,000. I'm just giving you the general. Don't nitpick. 1,167 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, townhome, $479,000 for 1,100 square foot townhome in Pacoima. 1,130 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, $479,000 in North Hills. Do you see these little narrow things? This is where the police be chasing people on TV. I'm not lying. This is where the police be chasing people. These are townhomes. Do y'all understand? Do you get it? The market is sewn up. They know what to sell and what not to sell. They hitting you up with mobile homes and townhomes. And yes, some of these are with price cuts. This is a $5,000 price cut. These are after price cuts. After price cuts. 1,500 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, $495,000. They want $500,000 for 1,500 square feet. They want $500,000 for this. $500,000. $500,000. 1,100 square feet. I'm starting to see a pattern. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. West 74th Street in Los Angeles. $495,000. $500,000. $500,000. 1,800 square feet. Los Angeles on Dakota Street. $500,000. Look at this right here. You can buy a big ass rectangle. You can be squished in by all these other people in your little rectangle. 1,300 square feet. 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, $500,000. 1,300 square feet, where when you look out your bedroom window, you have a wonderful view of your neighbor's bedroom window. Bedroom window. Oh, look, more stars and bars. 1,000 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, $499,000 on 52nd Place in LA proper. Silmar, $500,000 for the little pink house that they so proud of it. All they showed you was a window. Look at this ugly ass painted thing here. 1,400 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, $510,000. We've broken the $500,000 mark. 1,400 square feet. I'm making a point to you right now. I'm making a point that I'm telling you about when it comes to financial decisions. Ladies, are you sure? Are you certain, and are you sure that the men didn't make proper decisions? Are you sure about that? Are you certain that we didn't do that? Are you sure? You might be surprised. We may have made some better decisions than you might tell yourself that we did. You might be surprised. Being pragmatic is something that men have to do. We have to do that because our survival depends on it. That's one of those things that happens. We have to do it because our survival depends on it. That's the question. Just understand that when you're moving forward here, you're going to be married to that house. As men, we're more practical. We're like, hey, I don't need to deal with my mommy and daddy issues as much as I need to look towards the future. In the eyes of men, the future is 10 to 20 years away. In the eyes of women, the future is right here, right now, and I'll deal with tomorrow by hook or by crook, however it happened, however it come. And they get stuck under tons of debt. Student loan debt, housing debt, all the rest of that. They get stuck under that. That's what they get stuck with. As men, we have to be more practical. You know why? Because there's something that we understand as men. We can't show a little thigh and get any deference. If we make a bad decision, that's it. That's curtains. We don't have anybody willing to buy us a house for being cute. You have never opened up your Instagram and seen some men with this pose. You've never seen it. You've never seen men doing the money pose. You know why? Because we can't do it. It doesn't matter what we thinking. We can't get it. We can want it. We can't get it. As men, there's nobody looking to pay our way. So if we make a mistake, that's it. Women can show some thighs, show some cleavage, and that'll get a house note paid. All they got to do is show some thigh and some cleavage. For us men, we ain't got no thigh to show. And if we had cleavage, that would be even worse. We got nothing to negotiate with. We build or we fall. That's it. That's it. You get built or you get buried. Those are the terms. Ain't no other way. Ain't no other way. We don't get to do this 10 or 16,000 times. That's not the way that works. Either you gonna make this work or you are not, period. Either you gonna make this work or you are not, period. Period. So we have to be more practical. So as men, we make different decisions. We make different decisions. A woman can sit up here and screw up her damn credit, all these repos and foreclosures. These chicks get these cars and from some shady car lot, drive it straight out of town. It's getting repossessed 4 states away. Men, we can't do that. We can't do that. We got to move different. We got to make better choices. We have to be more practical, and we got to get there quicker. So as men, we peep the game from the very beginning. Don't talk to us about selling us some overpriced ass house. We need to know how this fits into the overall financial picture. Don't bring us some overpriced ass house. Don't sit up here and try to run game on me that going to college for a degree is a guaranteed win, that it doesn't matter what the degree is in, it's a guaranteed win. You running game. So right now they're talking about how more females got degrees than men. What they're not saying is that more females have more useless degrees than men have. Now that's what the headline should say, but they don't want to say that because they don't want to discourage the women from continuing to dig themselves into debt. And they know damn well the housing market is completely oversaturated and overpriced. They know it. But a bunch of these folks, I mean, y'all gotta understand, Remax pays for advertising with these people. Do y'all understand that? Remax and Century 21 and the rest, man, they pay for advertising with these people. They pay for advertising in the Los Angeles Times and the New York Times. You think they gonna sit up here and tell the truth about it? You think they're going to tell you the truth when these folks pay for advertising? They're going to tell you what they think you want to hear. That's it. And if it buries you in debt, so damn be it. And as men, we understand if we play our cards wrong, that's it. A female can go straight into bankruptcy, straight into bed with a new man, and then if she finds a big enough simp, he'll go ahead and bail her out. There is no bailout program for men. So when we sit down, the first thing we want to know is how much is this degree going to pay? How much am I going to get? How much is it going to cost? And how much am I going to get? No, don't run the game about the value of education. I need to know the value in the bank account. Without that, we don't want to discuss it. We don't want to discuss it. You see, that's when you know that you got a competent man when he says things like that. That's why you need to have a competent man in your corner, and you need to have a competent man in your life, because as women get lied to every day, first and foremost by other women. Y'all need a competent man who does not need you. The reason why it's a problem to have some mama's boy is a mama's boy needs you. So you like, oh good, he's emotionally deficient, and since he needs me, he won't ever be able to buck up and express authority. Okay, but a male who can't express authority also can't express competence. So he's going to lead you straight into a flaming dumpster fire. You'll be by yourself, and then next thing you know, you're stuck. Everybody loves lying to a gullible female who wishes to be lied to. The most important thing you can do for yourself as a woman is not be a woman who desires to be lied to. On the whole, men make better financial choices because our choices in general are not informed by our emotions. Even the fellas who got mommy issues, he's trying to figure out how he can stack his paper so he knows staying liquid is the key. Men understand that staying liquid is the key. And true, most guys today are not as liquid as they should be. Problem, the average male is far more liquid than the average female. So before you even try that one, the problem is, yeah, these fellas are not as liquid as they need to be, but the males on average are far more liquid than the females are. So if somebody tries to gas your head up and tell you that $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 of debt is the way to go, and by the way, you all remember, most of these females are only paying like 3 and 5% down if they can get away with it, which shouldn't be happening anymore, but it's still happening. The other thing that they left out is they're not counting, and they say single females, so they're not counting things like widows. They're not counting things like widows or divorcees. They're saying that they own the home. It's not saying who bought it. They didn't count widows and divorcees, but even if I spot you that, which is completely unrealistic, but even if I spot you that, Just understand that at the end of the day, you're behind the 8 ball. You got a $400,000 house. Depending on the interest rate, that house could cost you $700,000 by the time you're finished paying for it. A man understands of his lifetime earnings, $700,000 is too damn much to be taken. $700,000 is too damn much of my lifetime earnings to have tied up in a non-revenue generating asset. It's too much. It's too much. There's a whole bunch of fellas right now who are sitting up under a mortgage that the chick that they're with pressured them to get. There are a whole bunch of fellas out here right now who are sitting up under a mortgage that the woman that they're with pressured them to get. Now he's sitting with it. These guys get married. They get married. What's the first thing? First, she told you she wants a ring. Next, she said, now, you know, we need to get a house, right? Now, you know, we need to get some cars, right? So that's it. You're off to the races. The debt piles up. And if the men refuse to accommodate her, does she say, yeah, I was asking for too much? Nope. She goes up and says, well, don't worry. I'll pay for the house myself. Oh, well, 2/3 of the females are sitting under catastrophic debt. 2/3. 2/3 of the debt is held by the females. Ladies, you need a competent man in your life. You need a competent man, ladies. You need a competent man. You need a competent man. You need a man who's able to get his without digging himself under a bunch of debt. You need a competent man. You need somebody who's informed by the facts, not informed by his decisions. Ladies, you need a competent man. There is no substitute. There is no substitute. There's a bunch of chicks right now. Atlanta is one of the hotbeds of that. A bunch of females living in a big house, driving expensive cars. She is in debt up to her eyeballs. Atlanta is the home of a bunch of females sitting under a bunch of debt. You go out there, their car, their house, some of them their clothes. And they're just sitting under mountains and mountains and tons of debt. The debt that they racked up in their early 20s. So by the time you come along, they get in their 30s. Next thing you know, they're screaming, I need a man. Not I want one, I need one. When they were in their 20s, they neither wanted a man nor needed a man. Once they get in their 30s and realize, I'll be damned, I'm trapped. Now, all of a sudden, I need a man. Oh, I need to get married. Yeah, because she realizes there's just simply no way. Mathematically, there is no way out of this. There's no way out of this. They're perfectly comfortable walking into these things in their early 20s, but when they realize that when the math finally crushes them and crashes on them, then they say, damn, let me go get a man so he can be stuck with this because I can't do anything with it. Ladies, you need a competent man. It isn't just a nice, nifty thing to have around. It is a necessity. The single biggest factor in whether or not a woman will live and die in poverty is whether or not that woman has a competent man. The females who have a competent man, they are practically guaranteed to not go into poverty. The females who don't are practically guaranteed to be in poverty. Now, I want to introduce you all to a new term, high income poverty. Did you hear me, one? I'm introducing you all to a new term tonight, high income poverty. Because most females today who are in the middle class, they're not really in the middle class. They are high income impoverished. Her income is all spoken for. She doesn't have any disposable income. She paid for a bunch of things to sit up here and comfort and soothe her ego. Now she's trapped. She is in high income poverty. And she didn't get little things that go away quickly. She got great, big, huge things that take decades to get rid of. Folks, Do you realize that most of these females today have 7-year car notes? 7 years. Understand something. The trouble-free life of a car is pretty much over after 5 years. So the loan will outlast the trouble-free period. If you take care of a car, you generally are not going to have any payments, any repairs that have to be done on it for 5 years. Generally speaking, if you take care of it, 5 years is going to be pretty much trouble-free. 7 years of regular use, that's going to be a lot harder. You're going to be stretched out a lot further. And remember, most people buy a car once every 7 years. Don't believe me? Go Google it. The typical term of people owning a car is 7 years. After 7 years, they sell it. After 7 years, they sell it and they get another one. You know why? Because the car's probably started to give them issues. Well, guess what? If you get a 7-year car loan, you're going to be paying for the car right up until it's time to buy a new one. You never even got to really exercise the equity in it. You never had a chance to do that. But that's what you get. If you don't have a competent man to sit here and rein in some of those impulses, that's it. You're going to get a check and say, well, as long as I can make the monthly payments. All these monthly payment women are high income poverty. They are in high income poverty. Tax time is coming around. Oh, I'm going to say it. Tax time is coming around. Y'all know what it's going to be. You all know what it's going to be. Car prices are higher than they've ever been. Used car prices are higher than they've ever been. Interest rates are the highest you've seen in your lifetimes. Belly on up to the bar. Tax season about to hit. Man, they gonna be messing them over left, right, and center. Ain't gonna be nothing in that bank account but dust. Ain't gonna be nothing in that bank account but lint. Nothing but lint. You see, a man is going to be like, man, if you don't hand me that damn jack and these ramps so I can get this bastard up in the air and fix this damn thing myself. The females aren't going to do that. She going to try to hustle up on another car. She going to try to hustle up on another one. Men make better financial choices because we are required to. Females are taught, make whatever choices you want to. There will be a man to come and bail you out. Then they find out the hard way after they've been put up under a mountain of debt. You see, there's the other thing about us as men. We are adventurous at a younger age. I had a car once. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I had a car once. I was paying 30% interest on it. 30% interest. I was very, very young, by the way. I was very, very young, and I was, 19? Somewhere around there. 19? 30% interest. That's criminal. Now, granted, I paid the car off early, but 30% interest, that's criminal. Once I realized what that was, I was like, oh, never again. Never again. Never again. But you see, I learned that at a young age. We got chicks out here learning that at 28, 29, 30, 35, 40, sitting up here signing up for 8, 9, and 10% interest rates. You got to have a competent man in your corner to watch your back. A man is not going to allow you to run game on him. A man is not going to allow a college admissions clerk to run game on us. A man isn't going to allow a car salesman to run game on us. A man isn't going to allow a realtor to run game on us. We gonna run the numbers. They're gonna sit up here and try to show you how nice the house is, how clean the car is, how great the driveway is. Oh, take a look at the rugs. Aren't you gonna love this? Those are sales techniques. I recognize sales techniques. What's Jason Black's number 2 rule of salesmanship? Accentuate the benefits. Emphasize the benefits. That's how you overcome people saying that the price is too high. You don't move down on your price. You get them instead to focus on the benefits of what you're giving. And that is how you abrogate resistance to paying the price. So when females show up at a car lot, they make sure y'all feel nice and comfy. Ooh, feel the leather seats, see the entertainment system. Let me go ahead and crank up the radio. Take a look at the mirror and the visor. Take a look around at the greenhouse here. Don't you like that smell? Next thing you know, your ass done signed up for an 8% interest rate. As men, we're like, you know what? I don't even need to sit in the car. True story, y'all. I didn't even sit in the Navigator when I bought it. I didn't even sit in it. I didn't even sit in it. I was sitting in the damn dealership. I didn't sit in it. I'm like, yeah, dude, go ahead and run your mouth all you want to. I need to see these numbers. Well, we can take it for a test drive. I'll take it for a test drive right after you show me the numbers. That was straight what I told him. He said we can go take it for a test drive now. I'm like, we can't test drive nothing. I'm not wasting my time. I need to see the numbers. What's the out the door price? No, test drive nothing. I can test drive it when I take it home. I don't need to test drive it here. I don't need to test drive it here. I can test drive it on the way home. I need to see what those numbers look like. I need to see what those numbers look like. He showed me the right numbers, and I'm like, okay, we'll get you driving it. I'll get you driving it later, dude. I ain't desperate to drive nothing. I'll get you driving it later. Ladies, you need a man like that in your damn corner. While the salesman is sitting up here razzle-dazzling you, you need a man in your corner. You need a man in your corner who's not going to let them run game. And men, we don't do that. Soon as we start hearing somebody else running game, see, understand, we got a survival instinct about that. We know when a fella trying to run game. We know when somebody's trying to get over, we gonna stop it. If the man you are with is competent. If the man you are with is competent, then yes, he's gonna shut that down. If the man you are with is not competent, or if you do not have a man, much less a competent one, you on your own. And you can clearly see how the math works out if you're by yourself. You can clearly see how the math works and shakes out when you're by yourself. A female walking around by herself, she's out here with the wolves. And you might not like some of the things with these other fellas, but let me tell y'all right now, and I've had them on this program. Hey, it is what it is. I ain't hating, but I've had them on my program. Lawyers. Y'all, how many female lawyers have I had on my program? They are in their 40s and they still got their student loan debt. Driving Mercedes, driving BMWs. I ain't dissing nobody, but it is what it is. Y'all have heard them. If you've been with me here on the business since day one, y'all have seen I've had about 3 female attorneys. They make 6 figures. They still sitting up under student loan debts. Got Mercedes and BMWs and still sitting under student loan debt. That's not a joke to be in your damn 40s, sitting under student loan debt from law school in your 20s. That's a mortgage. Do you understand? That's a mortgage. A man ain't gonna let you rope us into that. A competent man is not gonna let you rope us into that. That's the difference. We're not gonna let you do that. And yes, they all single. Oh, we single ladies, take a look at my law degree. No, take a look at your damn debt. A man marries you, he's walking into a damn mind trap. A man gets with you, he's walking straight into a trap, man. Straight into a trap. I'm trying to help you out tonight. However, you might disagree. Therefore, the telephone lines are now open. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933, your personal access code to the program that all your favorite YouTubers love to hate watch. This is the program that all your favorite YouTubers love to hate watch. So go ahead and join us here. Go ahead and join us. You can go ahead and give us a call about that. If you disagree, you think that women make better financial decisions, or if you think that women women on the whole, you got proof that women on the whole make just as good of financial decisions as men make. Just as good as the men make. Okay, go ahead and give us a call about that. For those of you who keep saying silly, dumbass things every time I come here every week, Jason, why you keep talking to those young females? Because this is what the young females are hearing. If you want to know how it is, they ended up 30 years old talking crazy and insane. Now you know this is what's been going on their whole lives. From an early age. They're told, hey, we ain't got to worry about nothing. We're going to do as we please here. From an early age. By the time and here's the thing, by the time they get in their late 30s, they already in debt. The two young ladies I had on here last week, already in school, already in college. That's it. The train has already left the station. The train has already left the station. I want y'all to understand that these girls are 19 years old. They've already signed on the dotted line. And so as far as they're concerned, well, I'll be damned, in for a penny, in for a pound. Might as well see this bastard all the way through. Before they even had a chance to do something different. So by the time she meets you, she's like, hey, if you can't help me with this mountain of debt that I got myself up under, if you are unwilling to, my definition of love is you extend yourself financially for me so I can get from up under this mountain of debt. That's what you need to do. Understand where they're coming from. The telephone lines are now open. The number is 646-787-1933. That's 646-787-1933. Your personal access code to the business. Let me get a caller from area code 217. You're on live with the business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
DeCarlo Wilson, calling from Champaign. I was actually told to call in. Again, a phenomenal broadcast. Just had a couple things that I was going to compare, I guess, because as an educator. I'm going to tell you, in public education right now, our kids don't have the skills necessary to even get them into high school, but yet they're being promoted there. And then our kids are actually graduating from high school, and they don't have the skills basically of an elementary student. So one of the things that could actually benefit is just trying to get that in there. And the only reason I'm bringing that up is because we are in situations where we are now where we have to come to a place like you've done, like with the business, with TBA, and bring in all this information because our people are ignorant of a lot of the things that are going on. They don't have strategies. Like, perfect example, when I was growing up, I'm 55. I grew up where we were taught how to invest, to write, to balance a checkbook. We were taught how to actually understand the Constitution, the workings of it. And these are things that are not taught anymore.
Okay, so let me find out here.
Trades also.
Why did they tell you to call in?
I don't know. They just said to call in. I was like, okay, sure, I'll call in. So that's why I was wanting to call in with you. Like I said, I agree with you on a lot of your stuff. I'm just bringing in the small nuances because as a primary educator, I've seen it all.
Here's the issue. Here's the issue. The devil is in the details, okay? The devil is in the details.
Yes.
There is a difference between intelligent and educated. Let me say it again. There is a difference between intelligent and educated. I'm from Louisiana. I cannot tell you how many car mechanics I've had who did not read anywhere near the reading proficiency level that I'm at. Not even close. But they could do things on my car that I couldn't.
Absolutely. And the reason that they could is because they were taught trades when they were in junior high and high school.
Wrong. So where I'm from, actually they learned on their own.
So, okay. See, look, I came from the middle of the country.
Yeah, they don't teach.
And we had people. I'm sorry.
They don't teach auto repair in grade school in Louisiana. If you go to vocational technical school, maybe, but no, they don't teach it in grade school in Louisiana. We got rid of that decades ago, unfortunately. But then again, that's like most places. So my point is, I can show you any number of fields where you're dealing with an intelligent person about this particular area. He might not be educated, but he's intelligent. Now, let me take it even further. Let's take a look at the last 5 presidents of the United States. So going backwards, you got Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Barack Obama, George H.W. Bush, Bill Clinton. Do you realize that of all those men, which one of those men had any practical, real-world experience with the real-world economy?
Obama. That was it.
I would argue with him, no. Obama comes from a rich family.
Oh, well, I was just saying because he worked in supposedly in community activism within Southside Chicago, that's why I would think he would understand some of the things going on. So
all right, now,
Go ahead.
Now, here's the logical fallacy in that. Do you realize how many white women work in the inner cities in community activism in places like Chicago, Los Angeles, Oakland, Atlanta?
Oh, absolutely. But they don't, see, the thing is, they work there, but they don't live there. And therefore, that canceled them out.
Thank you. And neither did he.
Fair enough, then. I thought he lived on South Side.
How many people from the South Side of Chicago used to live in Indonesia?
I'm sorry, say that again?
How many people on the South Side of Chicago used to live in Indonesia?
That's a good point.
Hawaii.
That's very true.
Hawaii.
Very true.
Hawaii.
Yes.
Hawaii and Indonesia.
Yeah, true.
This guy's a one-off.
Very true.
This guy's a one-off. So it's a logical fallacy in that regard. On the face, it would seem that way. In reality, Donald Trump probably had more because his father taught him how to scam people in real estate. So in reality, he probably had technically speaking, he probably had more experience in that regard. But the reason why I'm bringing that up is yes, Donald Trump went to the Wharton School of Business. I don't think any of us would call him stupid, but I also don't think any of us would consider him to be especially educated either.
Absolutely. I would agree.
He's the kind of guy, I would hire him to scam people out of an apartment complex, but I wouldn't hire him to teach a real estate course. I wouldn't hire him to do that. Mm-hmm. I'm sure he could scam some little old ladies out of a house. I just don't think he could teach them how to understand their mortgage. I just don't think he could do that. Now, take a look at George W. Bush. Take a look at him. Now, he went to what? Yale? Skull and Bones? All right, hook 'em horns. Got it. This bastard was barely verbal. Yale? Are you serious? That bastard was barely verbal.
Yes.
When he didn't struggle with the English. Some people struggle with the English language. No. See, it's not a struggle when you're getting defeated. That's not a struggle. He's being defeated by the English language on a daily basis. And he was the president of the damn United States after being governor of Texas.
True. And he admitted it. He said, look, if you want to be a C average student, this is what you can become with being a C average student. So I agree with you.
So the moral of this story is there's a difference between intelligence and education. And I would argue to you that in the world we're in today, I put this up before, the world is run by the damn C students. The A students are working for the C students. The educated are subservient to the intelligent. True. No, and I agree with you on that. I guess the only reason I was saying it is that we're in a situation where we don't understand. Well, I'll just say it this way: we haven't utilized a lot of our rights. We're starting to regress because we're starting to fight things that we fought for 50 years ago, and then on top of it, we don't even understand. It's like, well, if you were a veteran in this country, you have a right to be able to get a house for no money down. We don't understand those kinds of rights, and even though we've been in the military. So it's like we have this basic comprehension that we're not understanding completely when we start off. And I think that contributes back to our upbringing from middle school and high school, because we've got to be able to have somewhere where it's like we get that critical thought or critical thinking. And most primary educations aren't teaching that now. Well, okay, but public education, contrary to our intuitive belief, public houses of education don't teach intelligence. They teach information, they teach courses, but they don't actually teach intelligence. Now, what you're hoping is that intelligence, becomes a side effect of it, but they're not actually in the business of teaching intelligence. They're in the business of educating you on a specific area of study.
Yeah, well, yes, and then I would say no, too, because of one thing. When we were growing up, we had to go to a library. To go to a library, if you want to look up something, you had to be able to look it up in reference. So you had to be able to think and say, okay, how am I going to be able to look this up? It made you hone in how you were going to do research. Now, the students have a world library in their hand called the cell phone. So they're in a situation where they think they know it all, and they have no research skills. So therefore, that's the difference between being intelligent and then just being educated. That's the only reason why I was saying that. It's one of those things where I anticipate that if we continue to, primarily not get a lot of stuff, they're going to look. The prison industrial complex. Why do you think they're trying to rear up again? They're saying, look, enough of you guys aren't educated, enough of you guys aren't going to college, so we're going to start filling up these prisons.
Okay, there's another fallacy, though. But there's another fallacy.
I'm sorry?
But therein lies another fallacy. Yes, I'm aware of the practice that, where they see test scores go down and when they see high school graduation rates go down, that's where they start building more prisons at. However, the correlation between those two is actually something misleading. Case in point, the literacy rate, if you compare literacy today to literacy in 1889, you can't compare the two. You simply can't. You have a much more literate,
I'll agree with that.
When you talk about technical skills, do you realize when you take a look at the, quote, technical skill level of the average American in 1889, and then take a look at the technical skill level of the average American teenager today, you can't compare the two. There's no comparison between your teenager's technical skill level today and theirs then. So when we talk about crime, then the next thing I got to take a look at is, okay, I see those high school scores, but I'm wondering one other thing. What are the opportunities available in this area? Because low test scores plus lack of opportunity equals crime wave. And that's anywhere around the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely, I agree with you. The only reason I'm slightly disagreeing is, again, as a primary educator, I'm seeing, and I can't say where I've taught, but I'm going to tell you this: we have fourth graders right now in 2023 who cannot write or read. I have had fourth graders who cannot write a sentence. These are students who do not care, and it's scary to me.
Okay,
so that's the only reason why I'm so concerned about this.
It sounds like they have a career to become president of the United States.
Well, yes. Hey, you know what? You're absolutely right. Maybe so. If they go that way, then that would be great. But I'm going to tell you,
now, not making light of that
in our community.
I'm not making light of that. I mean, certainly being able to read and write is certainly a great, big, gigantic help. You live in a world that has street signs. You need to be able to read them. So, absolutely, I'm not discounting the efficacy and the quality and the benefit of literacy. I would never do such a silly thing. What I am going to say is, let's be clear about a couple of things here. First, that I think the educators don't take into account because they don't think like me. They're not cynical enough. And realistic enough to think like me. Let's be very, very clear. Those kids don't respect their mamas. Let's be very, very clear about that first of all.
Sorry?
When we talk about lack of opportunity, I'm referring to lack of opportunity from the cradle to the grave. If you're in a household with a parent who does not respect literacy, doesn't respect math, the kids don't respect you. The kids don't respect you at all. They don't. Oprah and them been trying for decades. Them kids don't respect them. They can tell. If mama's a hood rat, them boys know it. They don't respect her ass. Why do you think they call these chicks bees and hoes? From an early age. They don't respect that. Okay, but what's missing is at an early age, their white counterparts, their family, their community, their society got something for them at an early age. If his mama is on some bull jive, they got something for him. And he's going to be shepherded and eased on into that. No matter where he falls, no matter where his literacy falls or whatever, they got a slot for him. With the black kids, you don't have that. So you're dealing with this. I mean, for example, take a look at how these white kids be yelling at their parents at the store and every damn thing else. I ain't going nowhere, you old funky beans. Okay, wow. Okay, how does that guy end up the damn manager of the store? Because they took him early. Okay, he's either going to be a manager or a school shooter. So let's get him into something here. There's the difference. Their society gives them a pipeline to prosperity. They give our kids a pipeline to prison. It's like, okay, you acting up. We're not going to let this white kid end up in prison. You, on the other hand, we're going to start you 6 years old in handcuffs, you're 8 years old in detention, you're 10 years old suspended, you're 12 years old expelled. We're going to make sure we got that set up in regard. Understand something, brother. The government overrides what's happening at your house. Corporate America overrides what's happening at the home. They have the ability to do that. They've always had that. Remember, at the turn of the 20th century, we had sweatshops in America. They called them sweatshops, really just child labor. But okay, fine. After you got rid of that and whatnot, you got trades that paid you way more than minimum wage at Boeing and General Motors. You didn't need a degree to work there. You did not need a degree to work there. Then with the niggas with babies on both sides of town.
Yeah. True. No, and I don't disagree with you. But the one thing that's going in with this is if we have opportunities with our people getting education, then they understand that the civics, in other words, they can get government control if they understand government. But if you take that away, then they have no concept of government. They think, oh, okay, well, there are these people there, they're controlling things, I have no control. So that's the only reason why I'm saying that education is important. And I understand that you say that white people over here, and they have these advantages. Absolutely. So what we have to do is we have to make sure that we take advantage of the opportunities that we get and make sure that we ride them out. Because look, again, brother, I grew up poor. For 2 years of my life, I was homeless when I was a child. And guess what? From that, I worked my ass off, even with the oppression. And I'm talking about I've had guns on me. I've been put in jail, everything, doing nothing. But the one thing was I was going to damn make sure that I could protect myself through my mind, because the thing is, I can't use my body. I'm a 6 foot tall, 200-pound man. They're already terrified of me. So the one thing that I know that I can use that they can't break is my mind. And that's the only reason why I'm saying this, because we have to be able to make sure that we're protecting ourselves in a way where they can't get to us. And our parents, unfortunately, did not do that. Yes, they had great trades, but guess what? Their great trade jobs where they were making $35 an hour, getting 4 weeks off a year, all that stuff disappeared. Why? Because they didn't care about it once they got theirs. That's why I'm saying that the education is important.
I'm gonna disagree with that, guys. I gotta disagree with that too, brother. I don't think we've ever seen a bigger time for the skilled trades right now. I don't think we've ever seen a bigger time for the skilled trades right now. What's happened is they've been severely undersold in their value. But, brother, it's standing room only everywhere across America for welders, pipe trades, carpenters, electricians, steel workers. It's standing room only everywhere.
No. I agree with you. No. Please don't misunderstand me. When I say education, I'm saying trade or academic.
Well,
because,
absolutely.
Let me give you. I started this off by saying that.
Let me give you something a little bit different here, okay? About the civics education, and I'm serious about this. Malcolm X got his civics education behind bars.
Right.
And
do we have to wait until we're behind bars to learn it?
No.
Can we learn it before we get there?
No, certainly you can learn it before you get there. I mean, I've dedicated my life to doing that kind of thing. So certainly you can. Here's the real issue. On this planet, you're going to get your civics education no matter what. As long as you are in a system of taxation, you are going to get a civics education no matter what. And furthermore, I would suggest to you that you're actually underestimating their understanding of civics. Those at-risk youth you're talking about, I guarantee you that they know the civics of the juvenile court system.
Look, I'm going to tell you, maybe so, but I'll say this. And the only reason I'm pushing back against it is because of what's just happened. If you look at the state of California, what's just happened, the governor gave U.S. tax dollars to people who were not even citizens. So they took American dollars and they gave them to people who aren't even Americans. So that's the reason. And the thing is, you don't hear the black community or not even the community, the whole state going, why in the hell are we giving our tax dollars away to people who aren't even citizens? Why aren't we putting it towards our people? That's the kind of thing why I'm saying that it doesn't seem like we have an education, because there should be outrage. What you brought up, when you brought up with Senate Bill 960, they are now going to allow undocumented people to become law enforcement officers.
Right.
Where's the uproar?
Well, certainly, California is a wacky place to begin with, so you'll never get me to defend that morass. There's just no way. What I will say is that as long as you're getting a paycheck in America, a civics education is guaranteed as soon as you get told what your taxes are going to be. So a civics education generally pretty much is a given. I would, at this point in my life, I would actually value skills over quote unquote education, because the schools, as far as I've seen, the schools are not really educating the children to be competent in that regard. It would be different if I saw them giving them great education and making them balanced and cognizant. But let's be very, very clear. The most educated people in black society are the biggest screwballs who will vote blue no matter who. Think about that for a few moments. The Michael Eric Dysons and the Van Joneses and the Melissa Harris Perrys. That's your educated people. Right.
Absolutely. They're the educated people, and they're pushing that out to uneducated people who follow it. And that's the tragedy. They don't have critical thinking skills to go, well, wait a second. Why am I going to continue to back a party that doesn't want to do anything for me, but yet wants to do something for everyone else? That's the reason.
Right, but I would.
And look, I'm going to tell you.
The need for literacy, sure, no question about that. As far as these things you're learning about, you learn that on the street. You don't learn that in school. You learn that on the street.
Oh, but wait. Look, I'm going to tell you. If on the streets people were learning about the three parts of government and they knew how to circumvent them and to understand that they have power within them, then we would have communities that we control instead of having communities where we are primarily temporary citizens until someone else comes in and then kicks us out of it. For example, South Central LA. For example, Southside Chicago. For example, a lot of New York City. If we had this power, if we had this knowledge, don't you think that we would be saying, oh, okay, well, here, you guys want to give people the right to vote after 30 days? That's bull. We had one politician who actually stood with that, and then afterwards, there's not a big stink about it. We have to be able, that's the only reason why I'm saying if we got it on the streets, it would be different, but it seems like we're not, because we continue to get primarily bamboozled by ourselves, by people who look like us, in the communities that's supposed to be protecting us.
Well, brother, once again, what I would say is I understand what you're saying. I think you're confusing educated with the outcome that you're looking for. It isn't that most black people don't know what you're talking about. Most of them already do. They know about the 3 branches of government. They certainly know about City Hall. They certainly know about the court system. They already do. What you're saying is, yeah, but the decision making and the critical thinking, got it. But once again, that's a trade. That's a handoff from the public school system to the street at that point. And hope things land in the right way, because folks can still have all the facts and all the information to make the wrong damn decision. Happens every day. I can understand what your concern is. And like I say, I certainly do not want young kids running around illiterate and whatnot. That's going to put you way behind. You've got all the advantages by being literate. It's a no-brainer. Absolutely. Do you have to be a scholarly level with it? I don't think so, because the more scholars I meet, the more silliness I meet. I would like critical thinking is absolutely a given. I would like to see more skilled people, including skilled in critical thinking. I'd rather see more skilled people than critical thinking, because I got to tell you right now, coming out of slavery, we had the smartest, most civic-minded and educated folk in America, and many of them couldn't read because by law they weren't allowed.
Absolutely. And I look, I'm going to tell you, I'm not saying that we need academics, because like I said, to me, the Du Bois talented 10th model, it hasn't held up. That's why we're in the situation we are.
No, the HBC, take a look at the HBCUs. That's where the quote talented 10th in this as is been practiced leads you. That's where you end up at.
Absolutely. And so I'm not for that, but I'm just saying that we have to be able to get some kind of skills and understand the politics and understand our power, so we can actually change things instead of just going, oh, okay, well, here, now they're going in and taking away the Voting Rights Act. They're eroding parts of it. Oh, okay, well, they're going in and they're being able to kill us, and the city councils are co-signing on it. Oh, okay. It's like, no, what we need to be able to do is be able to go, oh, wait a second, you're my representative. Well, here, check this out.
I disagree with that.
You don't make sure that you are
I disagree with that. You can know every single politician in America in every single seat. If you are a powerless individual, it won't help you. You can write all the letters and everything else. If you're powerless, it doesn't help you. If you're a person who, take a look at Asians, for example. They don't have the political clout that we do, but they got more influence because they got skills. They have skill sets, and they put them together in their communities and their enclaves. So knowing being the most politically informed person you can be, I mean, don't get me wrong, that helps you if you've got an economy to go into the political arena with first. If you try to leapfrog the economic level, in the words of Dr. Claude Anderson, if you leapfrog that economic level, you're going to be in trouble. Remember, when you're dealing with things like the labor unions in America, the labor unions were not started, nor is their membership, and I should know I was a member of three labor unions. It's not filled with your academics and best and brightest. It isn't. Most of the folks that didn't even understand what the damn issues were, but they did understand the difference between what the money was they were making and why they weren't making it. And from there, it's a short lead. But I will tell you, I mean, knowing all the politicians, it does you no good if you have no power, wealth, or influence to take into the arena. You're just another loud person with complaints, and you get ignored. If you're a skilled person with resources, now you're going to get something done.
Okay, and I would agree with you, and I'm going to bring up what you brought up. You said, how is it that the Asians, who are in a smaller percentage, have more power than us? Because of one thing, and that is because of their unity. They go with one voice.
But the voice is financial.
Think that they've got. I'm sorry?
But for Asians, the voice is financial. The voice is not.
I'm sorry, you dropped on that a little bit.
The voice, you said they speak with one voice. Yes, and that voice is financial. They do not speak with one vocal voice. They got chambers of commerce. They donate. They vote. They get their dollars together. They focus first and foremost on starting businesses and having business enclaves. And that's what they leverage. I remember I covered this on my other program here a couple of weeks ago. That's what their own is. Hey, pass the dollars. So understand, yes, they got unity, but they don't have unity of voice. They don't have unity of a population. They got unity of money. Their voice is financial.
Absolutely. But remember, they have money and they have their block, but they have the voting block too. Because the thing is, when they go into so if they didn't have a voting block, then how are you getting people into politics?
But Asians don't have
getting people into position.
But the problem is Asians don't have a voting block. That's the problem. They don't have enough numbers to have an appreciable voting population anywhere in America, despite what Andrew Yang likes to believe. They don't have appreciable numbers anywhere. The Asian vote isn't a swing vote anywhere in America. It never has been. So why are the politicians so concerned about them? Oh, they don't have a disproportionate number of voters, but they do have a disproportionate number of finances. Now, that they do have.
Well,
case in point, have you?
Case in point. I agree with you,
case in point.
I'm just bringing up one counter to this.
Case in point. Have you ever been to Chinatown in New York?
Have I been to where?
Have you ever been to Chinatown in New York?
No, I haven't.
Okay,
no, I haven't.
Canal Street in New
York.
Canal Street in New York City. I've been there many a moon. Let me tell you, when you're there, it's jam-packed day and night. Yeah. That is probably, in my opinion, that is the single busiest place, because I think it wraps around to the Brooklyn Bridge or whatever. That's the single busiest spot in New York City. It's packed pretty much 24/7, certainly during the daytime. It's elbow to elbow only there. But it's pretty much the same thing in every other Chinatown in America as well. So what does that show you right there alone? Those are not their political offices there. That's not the seat of their political power. There are no Asian universities. And yet Chinatown is booming and has influence in every city in America that's got a Chinatown that has influence as well. So they all got one thing in common. This is their economic seat. It's not their educational academic seat. It's not their political seat, but it is the economic one. And wherever they get together in large numbers or sufficient numbers economically, by the way, they can't have great education in that regard if they can't speak the language. They get together with their finances and everything else comes from there. And I'm not saying that Asians don't go to college. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that their power, right, political power in America is 100 years old. Small population, big concentration of economics concentrated in a very potent small area. I'll let you have the last word.
Absolutely. No. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I agree with you. I would just say this. With the Asians, by the example of just Chinatown in itself, and you brought this up beautifully before, that means that they show, it's like, here, we got an area that is ours. We control this area. And by showing that, they actually show power. There's no black town anywhere. There aren't black towns when you go from town to town. There's an area, maybe a community, but even that isn't owned and controlled by the black people. So they are showing and exerting their power by having that unity, by showing that. And then secondly, and this is the other big thing, especially out on the West Coast, remember, or in fact, not even the West Coast, in Texas too, what is happening? You have Asians who are actually fighting against the affirmative action. That's the one big one. And then the second one, even in in high school, the Asians in San Francisco blocked busing of black kids from the Bay Area, from Bayview Hunters Point to Lowell High School. And that was a magnet school where students could actually learn.
Right, but the real thing is, but the Asians started having their rise in the late 1800s. They didn't need any of this, anything from the 1960s. They were allowed to have their establishment and establish what they had. But they had that 100 years ago. That wasn't something that just came since the 60s. They've been had that. San Francisco, New York City. I could go down the list. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Like I say, definitely, I'll never discount the validity and efficacy of knowing how to read, knowing how to write. I'm never going to get me to discount that. Never going to give me to discount that. Never going to give me to discount that. But recognize the difference between educated and intelligent. We got a lot of educated women out here. Let me duck. Let me duck. Don't want to get hit by nothing. Let me duck. Is it safe to come up? Can I come up here now? All right. We got a lot of educated women. Oh, you know what I'm going to say. Oh, Virgo, you throwing the fruit? Oh, she throwing tomatoes are fruit. All right. Virgo is throwing fruit at me. Virgo said it ain't safe to get up, nigga. It ain't safe to get up. All right, let me get back down over here again. She said it ain't safe to get up. All right. And Virgo said duck, nigga. All right. We got a lot of educated women, but intelligent? Come on now. I'm not even answering that one. You ain't going to get me to say that one. You're not going to get me to make a call on that one. Oh, no, you got to catch me on a whole different year. Not going to make me say that one. Not going to make me say that one. We got a whole bunch of educated women now. I'm going to say that. Okay, education's aplenty. Everything else, oh, wait a minute now. Jury is out. Call from area code 347. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Jason. This is Kevin calling out of Philly. Once again, how are you?
Kevin out of Philadelphia. What's on your mind?
Hey, Jason, check this out, man. We spoke a couple months back in November. I'm 32-year-old living in Philadelphia, pursuing his PhD in African American Studies at Temple University. Jason, this entire program is so pertinent, and I'll tell you why. Right? I'm of Haitian descent. Right? Both of my parents are Haitian. My father is deceased. Right? I'm 32 now. I was 19 when my pops passed. Right? And my father was an HVAC guy. He was good with his hands. You know, he was always working on refrigerators, on cars, and all this other stuff. And he stressed education to me growing up, to me and my little sister, right? So me and my little sister, he would always make sure that he was helping us with our math homework. He was very involved and he was very hands-on and all this other stuff. And he always stressed us like education is the key to success, right? And so we, had it then ingrained within our mind that, okay, education is the key to success. So as long as we can continue to keep pushing, we'll be able to have the six figures, right? Be millionaires and all this other stuff. And what I'm now even realizing today, Jason, going for my PhD in African American Studies, and I called because I used to be a former middle school teacher in Connecticut, and we could chop it up about that if you want, right? But I'm currently, working through Afrocentric. My dissertation is going to be on Afrocentric education, right? And I'm just looking at everything, bro, and I'm just seeing like, wow, like maybe I made a mistake. I have all this education right now, but I'm broke as a joke, right? Like I'm on this full scholarship, but the universities, they exploit PhD and graduate students so that way we can teach at the university while also taking classes, which is why they give us like a little $1,000 monthly stipend while we teach, right? And I'm saying to myself, damn, when I was a kid, I was more of a literature guy. I like to read and all this other stuff. And now, with my dad not being around anymore, I regret it. I said, maybe I'm starting to contemplate, brother, maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I should have, been an HVAC guy just like my pops and, working with cars and doing all the things that he did. I don't know, brother. It really hurts my heart because it's like they lied to us with this whole education thing. And when I was a middle school teacher, I remember, let me tell you, brother, I almost got fired on several occasions because I threw out the curriculum. I said, nah, man, if my kids don't know nothing about no Malcolm X, no Black Panther Party, if they don't know anything about our true foundational Black Americans such as Edward Wilmot Blyden, W.E. Du Bois, the people who set the foundation for us in this country, the Tuskegee Institute, all this stuff, I'm like, then what am I doing here? Like, as a Black man, I'm doing them an injustice. I'm doing them a lie. You know what I'm saying? So I say this to you to say, brother, like, even in my PhD program, you got the black women competing with us, with the few black men that are there, and they're trying to, like, you know, they're using their masculine behavior to go back and forth with us, and it's just like, yo, like, really, like, what's going on with y'all? Like, do y'all really think that, you know, like, this is going to get you wifed up and stuff like that? It's crazy, brother. So I say,
well, no. What they think is that it's going to get. They think it's going to get them immediate approval in their immediate vicinity. So you got to understand, you're dealing with a system that's got gamesmanship down to a science. So they've got you in this contrived environment. Schools are contrived environments. You haven't hit the real world until you've hit the free market, the job market, the business market, the housing market. You haven't hit the real world until you touch that. Schools, grade schools, colleges, these are contrived environments. Jason, why do you say contrived environments? Because even in your classroom setting, you're competing against the smartest person in that room, but you're not competing against the smartest person in the field. Once you leave that contrived environment, guess what? You become fair game to everyone on the planet. Before, you were fair game to everyone in that room. Now you're fair game to everyone on the planet, including the smartest person in that field, whoever they may be. If they decide that you're today's food, you're today's food. Now, before now, you were protected. So these contrived environments can create a whole lot of confusion about what to expect and how difficult it's really going to be. So you're living in a matrix, in an artificial world, where the rules of what, even the rules you think you compete in that, really don't apply. You're going to find out what applies when you leave that contrived setting. But until then, they got a lot of mind screwed. And the other thing is they're being conditioned and encouraged by the schools and the curriculums to sit up here and be faithful tools of servitude. They don't want to see them becoming wives. They want to see them becoming, they're like, hey, you here to work. Look, it's just like I tell them with the biracial kids. If they have a white mother, she's never going to tell you that you're a black child. A white woman is never going to look at her child and say you are black. They're going to say you biracial, you mixed, you half Irish and half, Swahili. But they're not going to, y'all get it. But they're not going to tell you that you're black. She's not going to do that. Well, guess what? The schools brought you there to make you tools of servitude. They're not going to tell you be a wife. Are you kidding me? Wives don't pay for degrees. Wives don't do that. Listen, get this through y'all's heads, y'all. If you want to know why it is the schools lie to you, wives don't pay. Housewives don't get degrees. Yeah, even if it's in her best interest, housewives don't get degrees. They're not going to encourage you to do that. They're going to encourage you to stay right here. And you found it out the hard way, as so many other people do. It's like the military. Man, let me tell you, the two most dishonest bastards you're ever going to find in your life, military recruiters and college recruiters. Both of them will tell you anything. They're worse than used car salesmen. They're worse. At least with a car salesman, you can take a look at the damn car. These other folk are selling you sight unseen, and they'll tell you, don't worry, we'll let you take possession after you sign this. And literally what they're signing literally says we can do whatever we want to, including lie to you. So, when it comes to that kind of thing, man, these people will say anything. Because they know what you're there for. They know what you're there for. They already got you in a trick bag. They know that you don't have any of the knowledge. They know that you're not going to get any of the knowledge and experience until you go through this experience. So they're like, oh, they've been through this for the last 30 years. They got you. So if you don't have somebody who's already been through the experience and is willing to be honest with you, it's not going to work. You talked about your dad, and he's talking about, college education is the key to that's a slogan. Education is the key. That's a slogan. That's not a life strategy. That's a slogan. Just like we bring good things to life. And I'm loving it. Have a Coke and a smile. That's a slogan. That's not a life strategy. That isn't. You want to know what would shut down most colleges in America? If they had to give a money back guarantee. That would shut down most colleges in America if they had to give a money back guarantee. Don't get me wrong, the big ones would make it. Most of these other ones, they'd have to shut down or change the whole damn curriculum. Overnight. They'd never make it. So most of these folks here, they don't know. As much as I would love to flog your parents, the real issue is in most of their cases, they don't know. The only way I would say that they know is if they've actually been through it themselves. So they are turning their children over to the system on faith. Faith.
Yeah. Yeah. My parents were immigrants. You are absolutely correct.
Right. Because they don't know and they don't have any answers. So because they don't know and they don't have any answers and they haven't endeavored to get them, they're now relegated to simply holding up their babies as a sacrifice to Memnon. That's what it is. They're holding up their babies as a sacrifice to Baal. Baal, for those of you who know your Bible. That's what they're doing. Y'all need to think about it that way from the time y'all are born. If you are a person having children and you don't know what to do with them after college, from the moment that they're born, you might as well go ahead and hold them up as the child sacrifice. You might as well do it now. Because all we doing is waiting 18 years to get to it. We're just waiting 18 years to get to it. If you haven't already got that figured out, it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. Because your kids are going to say the most dangerous sentence in the world to you, which is, well, I want to be XYZ when I grow up. And you're going to be like, oh, you do?
Yeah.
And you're going to try to figure out how to help them with that. And you're like, I'll be damned. I don't know a damn thing about being a multicultural horticulturalist. But they do have a class for this at New York University. So, all right. Certainly they know. Certainly they know. Okay, and meanwhile, if you growing up in the black house, Daddy Black, yes, son. Daddy Black, yes, son. I'd like to grow up and take liberal arts. You're going to take STEM.
Yeah.
But I want to do liberal arts. You're going to do STEM. That's what you're
and
going to do.
You know what's interesting, Jason? My dad told me, that I was going to do STEM. He said, look, you only got 3 options. You're going to become a lawyer, a doctor, or a STEM engineer. And I told him, like, Dad, I don't know. Like, that's not really my thing. I'm more so like an intellectual. I like critically thinking, right? I like to use my brain. And once he passed, I just, I didn't have him there to guide me anymore. I was 19 at the time. So I just went all the way with the English literature and the African-American studies. But looking back, man, if I could do it all over again, I would.
Well, the thing is, you got to have parents who are also willing to not sit up here and kiss your little ass. Too many parents want to be their children's friend. That is the single biggest disease that I see today. Too many infantilized parents who want to be their kid's friend. They are the worst examples of adulthood because they themselves are not adults. They're just a bunch of big-ass children having other children. They may have a job. Some of them may have a degree. They want to be their kid's friend as opposed to being their kid's parent. And say that, hey, we live in an environment that's kind of screwed up right now, and folks are saying all kinds of damn crazy things to you kids. I'm not going to mislead you. I want to do X, Y, Z. Yeah, the world has kind of spoiled you in that regard. Look here, I'm your father. I ain't going to lie to you. That's not the way you going. You going this way over here. You can poke out your lip and be as upset as you want to be. In a few years, you'll be thanking me. That's called being an adult, is doing what is in your children's best interest, even when what's in your children's best interest isn't what's most popular. And most people are afraid to do that. They're consumed with being their child's friend, with being popular. And inevitably, it turns out like you. No disrespect, but there's respect there's respect missing. You know why? Because you're out here in the real world that's got no mercy. There's no mercy out here. It's just like, look, you got what we want or you don't. You got what we want or you roadkill. And at this point right now, you're like, okay, my parents are cool people, but they're incompetent. And at that point right there, the popularity goes out the damn window. Hey, mom, dad, you're cool, but you're incompetent. And I can't rock with that. You're incompetent.
Yeah.
That's what trying to be your children's friend invariably ends with.
Absolutely. And, Jason, why I appreciate you and I gravitate towards your program so much because, being in this program has been cool in the sense that a lot of the stuff that you talk about, I always perk up my ears because when I hear you mention, Francis Cress Welsing, the ISIS papers, and John Henry Clark, and, a lot of these, I'm studying these people in my program, so that I appreciate. But let me tell you something, brother, and to everybody listening onto the program tonight, even Black studies is a reinforcing and a reassertion of white supremacy. There's hypocrites all throughout Black studies, and that's why I feel like I made the wrong choice. You feel me? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, things that are academic exercises, this is what I was explaining to the previous caller. You get your education about the world and civics and government out here on the streets. We show you that little diagram of the three houses, and here's the legislative, here's the executive, here's the judicial. All right, that's a diagram. You don't get educated about that. You don't know about the Speaker of the House and sine die and emotions, and you don't learn that in school. You're going to learn that later when they pass a damn law that screws up your neighborhood. That's when you're going to learn. That's how you learn civics in the world. You going about your business, you trying to survive, let them pass some damn law that lets the police sit up here and hit you upside the head with a jar of peanut butter. Now, civics, whoa. Okay, I better start paying attention. Because now you have a frame of reference from which to pay attention from. Now you have a frame of reference. As Black people, we usually learn that frame of reference from the legislative branch making laws and the judicial system trying to enforce them. So you have a frame of reference. And that's how you learn is out here on the street. So it's the same thing with everything else, man. These things that you need and what comes in handy and what comes in use, you learn that on the street. You learn that out here in the real world. You learn that hands-on. You learn it hands-on out here. And so when you talk about Black studies and things like that, man, you learn Blackness on the damn street. Who the hell made a class? How the hell you gonna teach me Blackness in a college course? If it was that easy, Kamala Harris would be the blackest person in America. What the hell? Melissa Harris Perry be right behind her. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You don't learn Blackness in a class. Could you imagine Jewish people saying Jewish studies, you learn to be more Jewish in a classroom? Asian studies, It doesn't work that way. Once again, brother, that's a slogan. A very deceptive slogan. Think about it. Right. African studies. What exactly am I studying? Is this going to make me a better African? Well, not exactly. But you said, well, you're going to study African. Oh, so I'm going to know more about Africa than Africans? Well, not exactly. What the hell y'all selling? Yeah. What the hell are you selling?
Right. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
I'll let you have the last word.
And I just want to make this last point. I don't want to hold you, brother, because I know you have other calls to get to. I just want to make this last point before I go. And prior to getting into my PhD program, I was a 7th and 8th grade middle school English language arts teacher up in Hartford, Connecticut, before I moved down here to Philly. And I was at a predominantly all Black school, low income, impoverished. And I'm telling you, man, like just seeing our babies being so, mistreated in terms of like the curriculum and just the whitewashed curriculum, and just to see how the kids didn't care, man. Like I really did my best to try to teach them as much as I could, and they appreciated me for that because they saw that I really cared. But at the same time, I had to leave because I wanted to keep my sanity intact, brother. I knew if I would have stayed, that I would have just been living a lie, teaching these kids even something that I knew for sure was a damn lie and I didn't believe in. So I quickly bolted in the eye and I got out of there, and that's how I ended up in Philly. But to this day, I kind of feel like that's also another one of the regrets that I have, that, we have our youth here, who are growing up, especially middle schoolers, whose, their parents might not be able to contribute to their learning and things like that. And then, the whitewash curriculum, the white teachers, they don't give a shit about them. They don't care about them. And it just truly breaks my heart, brother. And I'm hoping that at some point down the line, we can find a new educational landscape that can, give our children tangible skills. So that way the next generation, moves forward and is able to be way more productive than we ever have.
Well, it starts with your generation changing the way things work by saying, hey, I'm going to keep it real. We're going to keep it straight. We're going to keep it straight. We're not going to sit up here and shade a nickel. We're going to keep it real. We're going to keep it real, and we're going to say it exactly the way it is, because hoarding information from people, that's how you keep them stuck where they are, with no chains around their ankles, chains around their minds. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Most expensive knowledge in the universe is ignorance. Ignorance is the most expensive knowledge in the universe. Call from area code 470. You're on live with The Business. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Jason, this is Joe calling from Nashville.
All right, Joe from Nashville. What's on your mind?
Hey, so this is a very interesting conversation. The topic you brought up tonight, it was just a conversation I was having for about 3 hours yesterday with some some women in Atlanta. And one thing I will say is that, you know, the professional women that I've dated or that I know, you know, their sisters or cousins or whatever, you know, there's consultants, like you said, they're lawyers. And to hear that amount of debt that they have, 150,000, 200,000, that even when they're making, you know, 130, 40, 50 on up, you know, they got these $500,000 homes. A few of them are single mothers, you know, on this whole Boss Bay vibe, you know, driving around in a Mercedes. And so when I really sat back and thought about it, I'm like, these women in their 30s out the gate with hundreds of thousands of dollars and debt, student loan debt aside, that's at least another 80 to 100 something thousand dollars. And that's just for their graduate degrees. It's not including their undergrad. You had undergrads at probably $150,000 of student loan debt. So, you know, I definitely applaud the sisters for being educated and things like that. But we do have to kind of analyze the situation to see, you know, what can we do to maybe shave off that debt so that we can move forward better as a community. And I'll also say this kind of with your last caller, the best thing my dad actually did for me was my freshman year in college. I said, yo, Dad, I want to be a teacher. Some of his fraternity brothers were teachers or principals. And I said, hey, I think I want to go into education. He looked at me and said, do you want to have a family? I said, yeah, of course. My wife will get it. You know, she'll, she'll understand that, you know, money's not that important. And my dad looked me square in the face and said, you're not going to be a teacher. And he was very adamant about it. No joking. All like, no, you're not going to be a teacher.
At least so he was paying that much attention. At least he was paying that much attention when he was in school. At least he was.
Oh, big time. I mean, it led me to my internship at Pfizer, coming out of school, making six figures off the bat. And if it wasn't for him steering me down that road, I look back now and I thought he was being like a total jerk. Even my mom thought he was being a jerk.
Because you were young.
Back at it now, and I'm like,
now the killing part about that is because you were young. Problem, your mama wasn't young. Now there's the real issue. You were young. You don't understand. See, there's a reason why we instruct children and we instruct young people. We don't sit up here and argue with them. We instruct them because you don't know. If you knew, you'd already be there.
Mm-hmm.
If you knew, you'd already have it. We look, you don't understand. Let's go a whole lot faster. We take care of that. So you're too young to be having that kind of discussion. You don't even know what the odds are, what the situation is. The adults are supposed to be more understanding. And the problem comes when you have adults who are not more understanding. That's where the problem comes in. So I'm okay with the fact that you were not okay with what your dad was saying. It's like, our dad's raining on my parade. Why won't he let me be great? Okay, I get that. Mom, on the other hand, now that I got a problem with. This idea, that's what I meant by being popular. Mom's trying to be popular with the son and, oh, well, whatever you want to do, Junior, as opposed to what is in this little nigga's best interest. Do you know how many females, I mean, you've been to big cities. Do you know how many females out there? Hey, I'm on Instagram. Why don't you let me go ahead and swing my butt cheeks on the pole? It's fun for me. Look, there's a whole group of us out here. Everybody doing it. Our father's supposed to step in and my daughter ain't going to be with him. My daughter is not going to be with him. You going to nursing class. You going to engineering. You going to accounting. Yeah. I'm expressing myself. You can express yourself on the first day of school in accounting school. That's where you can express yourself at. I want to do. No. This isn't an election. There's where we get into trouble. This isn't an election. You don't let your children's future be up for a vote, man. Your children's future shouldn't be up for no damn vote. Grown ass people got their kids' future up for a vote. Think about that for a few moments. Their future is up for a vote.
And I'll say this final thing, Jason, really quick, is that the one thing I appreciated even from that I didn't really grasp until I got onto the real world. My parents were very traditional. So I would say that my mom wasn't going to fight my dad if he said, no, that's it. That's it. What I find in more modern is trying to have it convince women that you're dating, like, hey, I'm telling you, this is the best decision. That you have to be more rational about it and practical about things rather than emotional spending, emotionally going into debt, emotionally just getting degrees because it's the cool thing to do. Just say, I have this degree behind my name. For instance, I'm happy that I held off on getting an MBA because the company I'm with now was like, we'll pay for you to get an MBA from a top 25 school. They're like, we'll pay for it for you. So had I done that on my own, I'd be $80,000 in debt. And my dad just said, hey, wait till you go to a company, they'll pay for it. Or a different company, they'll pay for it. So just having those type of things.
Just having an older person who's been there, done that, and knows the ropes. That's the fast track. That is the fast track. That is the cheat code. That's the cheat code. Somebody who's been there, done that, knows it. Say, hey, let me steer you around all these red herrings over here. This is the way you need to be going. Because this is the way your white counterparts are going. Let me go ahead and show you how to get over here. All the rest of that's wasting your time. That's where you want to be at, man. That's where you want to be at. And we need young folk who can depend on people to give them reliable information, not what they want to hear. You want to hear that you can go take their R&B course at Brown University and go get a record deal. Man, if you don't get your ass over here and get something practical, you can study for your rap career on the weekends. They don't, and you're not going to want to hear that. It's like, hey, look, this is what's practical. I'm not telling you have to give up on that. I'm saying we need to have something practical in here. So just in case Dr. Dre don't call you, just in case Dre doesn't call you, I'm sure he will, but just in case he doesn't, let's get you a skill that you can actually use while Dre gets ready to go ahead and call you up. Let's get a skill you can use. I'll let you have the last word.
Well, no, like I said, it's amazing. I'm really sincerely telling you that your topics are so on point and they're so timely because this is real life education. And this is what's going on in the world. These are the conversations that the street is having. So you're really just taking the information that's going on out in the street and broadcasting it out first. And so it keeps us all, I wouldn't even say it keeps us up to date. It keeps us ahead of schedule. So I appreciate you and keep up doing the great work.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Please do give us a call again. We've been on here for a minute here tonight. That was one of the other reasons why men make better financial choices, though. Nobody's coddling us. Your daughter tells you, I want to go to school to learn ballet. You sitting up here buying the little shoes and, oh, that's nice. Your son tells you he wants to go to school for ballet. You like, boy, if you don't go over and go take some carpentry classes. But they have male ballet students and the whole family's looking at him crazy. Okay, so it's crazy for your son, but it wasn't crazy for your daughter. Okay. All right. I think I figured it out. It's crazy for your son, but not crazy for your daughter. She can do that. That's okay. Whatever she wants to do, you go ahead and, man, look here. She better find a man with some competence who's willing to say, baby, that ain't going to work for you. That ain't going to work for you. Let's do something else. That there is not going to work for you. At least that needs to be plan B. Ballet career is plan B. BSN is plan A. Ballerina, plan B. Just in case that ballerina thing don't work out. Just in case. Folks don't learn that. Folks don't learn that. They learn that way late when it's too damn late to know something. Then they get to a point where they're like, okay, now I'm getting in my late 20s, early 30s. Look here, I need an exit plan. These folks done talked me into $60,000, $80,000, $100,000, $125,000, $200,000 worth of debt. I got $100,000 in student loans, $500,000 in mortgage, $50,000 in car. Where the hell is Ed McMahon to hand out that Publishers Clearinghouse check? Who's that? Steve Harvey handing it out now? Somebody go tackle his ass? She's driving around all over town trying to see if she can find the Publishers Clearinghouse van. Never heard more females in my life talking about, boy, I wish I could rob an armored car. They get it. So, ladies, I'm not just saying it because it sounds cute. I'm saying it because it's reality. Everybody you know has lied to you in that regard. The single most important decision that you will make in life is the quality of man that you are with. That is the single biggest factor in what type of life you are going to live. Your ego and resistance to that will be the single biggest factor in whether or not you live in poverty. It is what it is, including high income poverty, which is where the majority of females are today. Well, Jason, what's the solution? Jason, what's the solution? I'm just one man. I'm just one man. I'm just one guy, but I'm doing everything that I can. I want to see sensible people get together and express and utilize some power dynamics. And tomorrow night is the last day. We're pretty much full right now, so I'm just letting you know right now. We're pretty much full right now, although I'm going to continue letting people go ahead and take it until tomorrow. If you want to throw in to join us on the 14th, we are having a special event that I've been talking about right now. The response has been overwhelming. It's already a full house, but got a few slots left. If you want to join us, you're going to see when you get there, it's already a full house. It's already a full house, but I'm perfectly fine no matter how it goes. But at this point right now, we're in the last 24 hours. So you have until the midnight on the 7th. If you want to join us for this event, it is not going to be on YouTube. It is not going to be on Patreon. This is going to be completely on Zoom. We already got everything set up and decked out for you. And it is going to be for the folks who qualify to be a part of this. So for the fellas, if you want to join us for this, just send me an email. This is the last 24 hours to do it. Valentine's Day made men. For the females, Valentine's Day, ladies looking. For the fellas, we're going to need to verify income. So you don't just get to walk in the door. We're going to verify income for the fellas. If you're not capable of taking care of yourself, we ain't going to sit here and throw a female at you. You got bigger issues. And for the ladies, there is no size restriction. There is no weight restriction. There is no beauty restriction. You are allowed to join. Just remember, the men will get to pick who they want to speak to. So welcome to the free market. Let the chips fall where they may. So if you want to be a part of that, you want to go ahead and email that for us. For the females, we need to have a picture of you from head to toe. We need to have a video of you wearing the same thing you are wearing in the picture. And all you have to say is, hello, Jason, I'm ready for the business. We need to know your age, if you have any children, can you cook, and are you willing to accept a side chick position? That's what we need to know from the ladies. For the fellas, it's $250. That gets you regular access. For the fellas who want 5-star access, thank you, Ari and Soul Sister. For the fellas who want 5-star access, that's double that amount, but you get to choose first. You get to be first in line. You get to choose first the whole night. So whoever you want to speak to first, assuming somebody else doesn't get it first, I'll just probably go in alphabetical order, but assuming they get to it first, you get first dibs. So everybody else goes after you. It's a meritocracy. So you definitely have that as an option. So we'll be doing that on the 14th, but tomorrow night, the 7th, is the last day to be joining us for that. The 7th is the last day. As you all know, I've had a number of females who are getting involved in this. I've had a number who are going to be joining us for it. So definitely, you're going to want to, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. You usually go to some places and the company is not the greatest. You go to some places and the company is not the greatest, and I understand it can be tricky out there. It can be tricky. Lizzo's cousin shows up. I understand. It's tough. It's tough. I ain't mad at you. It's tough out there. It's tough out there. But you will have options. We got them of various ages. Miss 63-year-old is going to be there too, by the way. Miss 63-year-old has asked to show up. Miss 63-year-old is asked to show up. So for those of you who saw the YouTube short that I did, by the way, Miss 63-year-old has asked to show up. She's asked to take part. I told her, yes, she can, like Obama. I said, yes, she can, like Obama. So the 63-year-old, she says she wants to be there. So her face will be in the place. So for you young fellas, I think for you young fellas, y'all can afford to wait the 2 years. If she wants somebody to wait, y'all can afford to wait the 2 years. So I think you got an opportunity for that. Also, we got another couple of ones there. Show you that there in a little bit. This is a young lady here. She is half Nigerian, half Irish, and she's actually in Ireland. So she is half Nigerian, half Irish. She'll be joining us, among others. I could put up a bunch of pictures right now. I'm not going to do that. Linda. Oh, Linda gonna be there. Linda gonna be there. I don't know what we're gonna do with Linda. We might have a buy one, get one free for Linda. We might have a buy one, get one free where Linda is concerned. We might have a buy one, get one free. So to the fellas, if Linda show up, we're gonna let you know. If Linda's there, we might have a buy one, get one free. I don't know if she's going to get chose. We just trying to move her off the lot now. I'm just trying to move her off the lot. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to move her off the lot now. Just look, come make me a deal. Come make me a deal. We don't even have a price on the windshield. Come make us a deal. We'll work something out. We'll work something out. Tina, nigga, please. Nigga, please. Not gonna have her sitting up in there cursing at me all night. She'll be following me around from room to room. And another thing, Jason, another thing. No, we're not gonna have that. No. Among other things. Oh yeah, because we discussed this last Saturday as well. I was asked whether or not I'd be participating in the event. I had a number of the females ask about me. They asked whether or not I was going to be one of the options. I'm supposed to be hosting the event. We had a vote on my patron. My patrons voted that I should be participating in the event. I'm like, man, do you hear them? If I was, I wouldn't be doing it in front of everybody else. That's for damn certain. But yeah, they voted on my patron. They said I need to be taking part in the event too. I'm like, conflict. I sense a conflict of interest. No, you ain't gonna have 30 women sitting up there got me boxed in. You gonna have 30 women got me boxed in? Really? Oh, no, Goshen, you're right. I am accepting side chick applications. Oh, yeah, I am accepting. Okay, look, I told them I will take part in the event, but under 2 stipulations. Number 1, side chick applications only. I am only, no, you want a committed relationship, looking to marriage? Nah, not me. Side chick applications only, and only till the end, only at the end of the year. So you ain't gonna hear from me till like, September, October. Now, will you explain to me why in the hell YouTube is over here hating? How am I sitting up here explaining what the hell I got and they gonna sit up here and cut me off like that? Did you all see that? YouTube is hating like a mug, ain't they? YouTube is hating heavy, aren't they? They cut me off while I was trying to explain things. What the hell? That must have been Tina. Tina is out there making complaints. Tina's filing complaints. You have somebody on one of your YouTube live streams. He is too popular with the ladies. I think that he is a person of ill repute. You should shut down his live stream. Next thing, now they're messing with my live stream. Now they're messing with my live stream. In any case, the only way I would take part is side chicks only, and only till the end, only at the end of the year. So, holla at me in September, October. Not now. It would have to be at the end of the year. Don't you know I still had some of them asking anyway? I said that and I still had some of them asking anyway. It's crazy. I had some of them asking anyway. I'm like, girl, you do realize it's kind of young to be trying to throw in your application, don't you think? Are you old enough to drink? Why are you trying to throw in your application? Where y'all come from nowadays? So in any case, no, they asked me if I would take part. If I were, ladies, if I did take part, it would only be side chick applications, and that would be it. And I'll have to see you at the end of the year. The Section 179 ain't working like it used to and things. So getting a new company card this year, I'm expecting the interest rates and everything to go down by the end of the year. So no, I'm not one of these income tax ballers. I'm one of the end of the year ones. So I'll be getting it in then. So definitely, ladies, if you are looking to put in your side chick applications, line forms to the left. But for everybody else who's got some sense, definitely go ahead and make sure you sign up for that. We'll be doing this here next week. It's going to be a great event. You're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to be there for hours. I'm scheduling to take 4, maybe 5 hours. I'm scheduling to take 4, maybe 5 hours. 4, maybe 5 hours. Maybe. So you will not be pressed on the time. You will not be pressed on the time. You'll not be pressed on the time at all. Not at all. You definitely won't be. So you'll have plenty of time to talk to everybody. You'll have plenty of time to meet everybody. That's what you want. Oh, spectators, yeah. There's some folks talking about they want to. No, he's not asking about spectators. He wants to know, is there going to be an audience? The only way you can be an audience. You cannot be in the audience if you don't pay to get in. No, this is not for YouTube. This is not for you to sit there in your house with your popcorn and your Jell-O. If you're not participating, you won't be in. So that's weird. That's another thing right here. I got to tell you, that's weird. We got a bunch of little weird people out here talking about, can we watch? I've got a bunch of females who are 18, 19, 22, 23, 24, size 6s. Cute in the face, slim in the waist, cooks great, and got dudes talking about, can we watch? What? Oh, I just want to look. What is this? Y'all been sitting on OnlyFans and Pornhub for so damn long. These dudes today been raised on OnlyFans and Instagram and Pornhub for so long. You're just, hey, we got real live females you can meet. And can I just look, Jason? No, I'll pay you. Can I just look? Can they just look? Can you? No, I've had like 4 or 5 ask me that. Hey, can I just look? Can I be in the audience? Can I just look? Just look. No. I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to talk to them. I just want to watch. Really? Really? All right. No, I don't think we got a slot for you. I don't think we got a slot for you. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Be watching out for that. You're definitely going to want to take part in that. And hey, if you don't, that's up to you too here as well. It's no pressure environment. We're already at the numbers I need them to be at. But hey, we got room for one more. Go ahead. Now, what I will do is I'll let everybody talk about how they like things after the fact. I will let them do that if they want to. But for everybody else here, hey, you can hear about it now or after the fact. It's up to you. No pressure at all. Last day is tomorrow, so go ahead and join us for that. I just wanted to give you all an update on how that's coming along there. I've sent out the emails for the fellas. I'm going to be sending out the emails for the ladies here tomorrow. So the ladies can go ahead and get themselves firmed up as well. And yeah, that'll be it. Somebody asked me, is this going to be an annual thing? Man, I don't even know if this is going to be a one-time thing. Just don't ask me about no next one. Don't ask me about a next one. I don't have free time like that all the time. I just felt like this would be something interesting to do for Valentine's Day because for the last couple of years, we've been talking about Galentine's Day. And in all honesty, I'm just being honest with you all. I just really got to a point where I didn't want to be talking about, what was wrong. And I just figured, hey, let me throw my hat in the ring and present an opportunity where serious men who actually can upgrade somebody are going to meet serious females who actually are looking to get gained up and upgraded. I just decided I'd go ahead and do something as opposed to talking about it. Everybody and their damn mama sits up there and talks about it. We could do another Galentine's Day program. I mean, we could do that. But why don't we have some other options? Why don't we have some other options for a change? Anybody can sit here and, talk about what they don't like and things. And yeah, I could do another Galentine's Day program and talk about the messed up jewelry dealerships and, everybody's alone. I could do that. Why don't we do something different this time? For everybody who wants to make a move and wants to do something different, this is an option. For everybody who wants to sit at home and hate watch and make up memes on your exes, hey, you can do that too. And get it how you live. Get it how you live. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight. I want to thank all of you for joining us. If you are new here to the business, welcome to the program that all of your favorite YouTubers love to hate watch. Click that red subscribe button. Click that yellow notification bell. Join us each and every time that we are here. If you are not members of our Patreon, that's where you get the heads up on everything. So my patrons have known about this for some time. The rest of you just found out about this tonight. So definitely you want to be a part of that as well. I want to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program on PayPal, CashApp, Super Chat. Thank you very much for your support there. The 14th, February 14th, we will be doing the business regular program on February 13th. On February 14th is when we're going to be having the Valentine's Day business meeting. So that's what you're signing up for. You need to be signed up for that by no later than tomorrow. After February 7th is the last day. So go ahead and get it in, and then you can join us. We'll see you there. And no passport required. Doesn't matter where on the planet you are. No passport required. Masculinity required. No passport required. Just thought I'd throw it in there. Hell, for less than the price of a plane ticket to Brazil or Thailand. I hear that's a nice getaway or runaway spot this time of year. I heard Thailand is a great place to get away or run away. So yeah, for far less than the price of a plane ticket to Brazil, Thailand, or some other exotic location. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of The Business. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, Mr. Jason Black. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, handle your business or your business will handle you.